What makes the Pixel Fold the best foldable to me? The first thing I want to bring up is the software. The software, it's Pixel's software. If I can get a foldable with Pixel software, that is the foldable that I want. I love everything about stock Android. I love how simple it is. I love how quick it is. I love the animations of it. And I love the minimalistic features that they offer. I don't like a device with too many features that just kind of overwhelms me. I'm an Android guy, and it's crazy that I'm saying that. Like, if I get a device with too many features, I really don't care. I want things to be very simple. I want things to work in the background. I want things to be, you know, just as simple as possible. And I think that the Pixel Fold offer just the right amount of features. I want a little bit more, if I'm honest, but they offer the right amount of features that I need, and it keeps the phone feeling smooth, fast, with great animations. Normally when you start tacking on so many features, the phone becomes boggled down. It just becomes something completely different, and I'm not that target user anymore. I'm a different target, and I feel like the Pixel Fold targets me best when it comes to foldables on the market. The next thing I want to talk about is the actual design and feel of this device. This design and feel is just incredible. Now, more so on the design part, I'm not saying that I really love the design. I mean, yes and no. The no part is the camera bump. I really don't care for the design of the camera bump. I really don't like the squared off in the corner. It's growing on me, but it's not the best. I wish the bar actually went all the way across like the previous Pixel Fold or any of the Pixel 9 series phones in general, just to give it that unified look. But this is what Google came up with. This is what we got. There's nothing I can do about it. So over time, I'm learning to just kind of accept it and grow on it. Grow to it, I guess, but I really don't care for it. But everything else about the design, how thin this design is, how it feels in the hand, how light it is, it's so much better than the previous model when it comes to like the actual physical kind of like design. Even though I do like the passport design because of the one-handed usage, and it opens up into a tablet instead of a square. But other than that, I do love the design. I wish that Google would just get away from the whole polished sides though and just make everything matte. That would really be the cake of everything. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the design over all the other foldables that I've used. And I've only used two other ones, just for the record. I want to say the OnePlus Open and the Z Fold, of course. So everything else outside of the US, I have not touched. You know, I'm not touching those because import prices and everything else. And, you know, you can't really use them comfortably on our network. So I'm not going to waste money and time for something that I'm not going to use as a daily. So until then, this is the foldable for me, and I love this design. The next thing would be going back to kind of like the design. I want to say that the outer display, even though I know I just said I love the passport display for the one-handed usage, I do love that Google didn't make a 6.7 or 6.8 or something like that inch outside screen. They did a 6.3, which still gives me a little bit of kind of one-handed usage. It's still pretty, I mean, I got big hands, but it's still kind of hard for me to kind of stretch from the bottom to the top of the screen. But I like the outside display. It's really awesome. Like, I wanted originally the Pixel 9 Pro, and this is pretty much that Pixel 9 Pro, just with a, you know, worse camera, I guess, if we're gonna say that, or not so good camera compared to that. But as far as the design on the outside display, I like it. And the inside display, again, I like that it folds all the way flat. That's one of the, you know, good things about it. I hear it snaps and stuff like that, and I like that. It feels good. The crease inside is it's a foldable, so we're not going to talk about creases. You're going to have creases in foldables. I know OnePlus got one that's very minimal. I wish that happened to other foldables too one day. But with that being said, I'm not thinking like the crease is going to be completely gone maybe one day in the future. But right now, I'm okay with creases. You don't really, it's not something that you think about daily. But inside screen is growing on me. I just don't like using the split screen too much because of the inside screen. It's like the apps are long instead of like wider. On the Pixel Fold, the first generation, they were more wider, so it felt like it was two actual you know, full screen apps. But now you got a more narrow app, not narrow like the OnePlus, but it's pretty narrow, and definitely not narrow like on the Z Fold. I mean, that is crazy how narrow that is. You have to actually rotate that device to get the full screen apps, which I did a lot when I had my Z Fold. But I do like the inside and the outside display. I think they did a really good job with both of them. Is it my favorite? By far, no, but I'm learning to appreciate it more. Next would be the biometrics. I love that the fingerprint reader is actually on the button. I'm always been a fan of the button fingerprint or the back of the phone fingerprint, stuff like that. The ultrasonic stuff and the optical fingerprints that they put in these phones and on the display. You know, back in the time, you know, I come from an era where we didn't have none of these smartphones, no folding phones, no color, none of this, bro. We had to pay for our minutes. We had to get free minutes. After a while, we had unlimited minutes, and it was like after 7 o'clock. So I appreciate tech a little different. Some of you were born into this era and you just kind of like piggy off what you were born into. But me coming from like the 90s and stuff like that, we didn't have this tech. So I really appreciate this tech that we have a lot. But I do love having that physical fingerprint over, you know, everything else that they're doing and stuff like that. I mean, I looked at the fingerprint under the display as a wow factor from somebody from like the 90s. Looking at unlocking a device by putting your finger on a screen, that was something that we've seen in movies when we were in the 90s growing up, you know, as kids. We see that in the movies, and now it's like here, and it's pretty cool. So it was a wow factor to me. But after the years of using it, it's like, okay, I just want the physical one back on the button type thing or whatever like that. I said that because I want you to understand where I'm coming from with this. I appreciate the tech and everything like that, but I find it more efficient when it's the power button instead of under the display. And the last reason would be just, it's a foldable, right? It's the reason why this phone is my daily phone every day, because it's like, it's a phone when it's closed, and I can use it as a phone, and then open it up and it's a bigger phone, and that's still a wow factor to me. Like, and every time that I try to use I swap my SIM cards from my Pixel XL to my, you know, my Fold, or my Fold to the Pixel XL, you know, my main SIM card, because you know, if you know me, you know I got two phones: business line, personal line. Personal line is always been my foldable, but I swap the SIM sometimes because I'm like, okay, let me try the slab thing again. So I do it, and then I'll just be missing the Fold. So I just kind of swap back and be like, nah, I want to use the Fold as my main phone back, you know. So foldables are awesome. I mean, some of you are like, you know, I'm a little concerned about, you know, the quality and this and that to the third affordable, and then some are like the prices are too high and stuff like that. So I get whatever type of person you are, I get it. I'm not knocking anybody, but for me, those things aren't an issue for me, right? And I'm not saying that I'm rich, because I'm not. I'm just saying I find, if I want something, if I really want something, I'll find a way to get it. That's just how I've always been. I gotta hustle, and I'm always gonna hustle for whatever I want. With that being said, I love the foldables, and this is probably like the best thing about this device that I love about it. I open it up every single time that I get, and just, if I got two hands free, I'm opening it up, I'm enjoying it. So with that being said, these are like, you know, some things that I really love about the Pixel Fold, and why I use this as my main device. And while I feel like this is the best foldable on the market for me, I want to make sure I emphasize that, for me, so you understand what I'm coming from, because a lot of you take things way too far and way too personal. I'm not saying that any other foldable that's on the market, from the ones in the US and the ones that's in China, or, you know, other across seas, I'm gonna just say that because there's a lot, right? I'm not saying that those aren't better than the Pixel. I don't care for saying that one foldable is like the best overall, right? Because while you love your Z Fold or your Open, I don't. And that's just simple as that. And while I love my Pixel, you don't. So that's just how that works. So this is the best foldable for me, and I would choose this 1,000 times over any other foldable right now on the market. Anyways, if you like content like this, please hit that like, share, subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.